welcome to the NorthOps Fire Weather Webcast for Tuesday, September 3rd, 2024. The most recent water vapor loop from GOES 17 shows a shortwave low pressure system passing to the north, while a weak disturbance lays well off the central California coast. This disturbance will be the catalyst for instability later in the week. Ridging and a mid level dry intrusion is found between the two low pressure features and will influence the weather during the near term. The larger Pacific low pressure system will likely influence the region later during the weekend and early next week. Visible satellite this morning reveals minimal amounts of stratus clouds across the north coast. Otherwise, sunny skies exist. The Bear Fire smoke can faintly be seen north of Lake Tahoe. Sunny skies will prevail throughout the day. The previously mentioned shortwave will give way to much warmer and drier ridging the next few days. The weak offshore disturbance is expected to cross over the area on Friday before dissipating. A larger Pacific trough influence is expected by a late weekend and last into early next week. Temperatures will noticeably warm this week with highs generally 3 to 15 degrees above normal. Slight cooling during the weekend, but readings should remain near to above normal. More noticeable cooling possible sometime early next week. The strongest shower and thunderstorm signal shows up for Friday across Northern California. Coverage and intensity of the storms will be dependent on the track and timing of the offshore low, so we'll be monitoring very closely. Some preliminary buildups could develop as early as late Thursday afternoon or evening near Lake Tahoe, and some residual instability could remain into Saturday, depending on the track and timing of the low. A mix of wet and dry activity should occur Friday, although the wetting rain footprints are likely to be fairly small, creating increased ignition efficiency. Afternoon wind speeds the next 3 days will be on the lighter side. Some localized breezes are more likely during the morning hours out of a north, northeast, and easterly direction, favoring the Sacramento Valley and west slopes of the Cascade and Sierra Ranges. Some locally onshore breezes could develop as early as Thursday across the Bay Area. This forecast image is valid at 1700 Thursday. The air mass will be unusually dry both day and night across pretty much the entire area through Thursday. Minimums are expected to be in upper single digits, teens, and 20s, while recoveries will be moderate to poor. This forecast image is valid at 1700 Thursday. Friday appears to be a transition day with increasing west southwest and southerly winds, including some downdraft potential from thunderstorms. Humidity should also rise some thanks to a deepening onshore flow and afternoon clouds, but still remain low across a broad portion of the interior. These forecast images are valid for Friday. Areas of breezy to locally windy west southwest southerly winds should occur during the weekend into early next week. The strongest speed should be found across the east. Humidity will remain low to marginally low across the interior. These forecast images are valid for Saturday. The 7-day significant fire potential product shows increased risk for most of the 7-day period due to the unusually dry and warm air mass the next few days, followed by lightning and increased wind potential. ERC values will respond to the dry and warmth, and most PSAs are expected to rise above the 90th percentile in the coming days. Woody shrubs and ladder fuels are also in a flammable to critically flammable state, creating a critically dry fuel alignment.
The Bear Fire ignited 5 miles south of Loyalton yesterday afternoon and grew to just shy of 1,200 acres by 1900. The Babbitt Peak webcam captured the wind-driven fire plume at 1705. The combined strong wind, low humidity, and fuel moisture conditions were quite unusual, with likely a top 4 burn index value for an entire 23-year database observed for the fiery side yesterday.
In summary, a hot and dry air mass, including unusually low humidity values both day and night, will occur most of this week. An offshore low will help to create instability and increase thunderstorm potential centered on Friday, and the storms are not likely to contain a lot of wetting rain. Winds will be on the lighter side the next few days, but gradually climb Friday, but more so during the weekend into early next week, favoring the east. High risks have been posted for the Friday and the weekend period for lightning, followed by a more organized gusty wind flow.